So we're talking about the Knights of Malta. I'll tell you how they also put people of prominence in their position. This is again how we idolize individuals. He was put into a position of prominence. Remember that the Knights of Malta have to give their allegiance to the Pope. He was put into a position of power. He was in prison, and for him to get out, and for him to get that position, he had to give his allegiance to them. So if he has to give his allegiance to the Pope, he has to push the agenda of the Pope. Here we see his prison number, which was changed to his prison number just prior to his release, 46664. It's in our hands. This is his AIDS. He had an AIDS awareness event called 46664. It's in our hands, but you see the indoctrination of it. You see what you see what they're trying to push. We understand that 666 is the identifying mark of the beast. It's not the mark of the beast, but it's the identifying mark. It's the identifier of who the beast is, and then the mark of the beast is the worship of man. But they're indoctrinating the people to accept the mark of the beast. Where do you accept the mark of the beast? In your foreheads or in your hands? 4664, it's in our hands. It's just to indoctrinate the people. He's working to push the agenda of Rome. The Knights of Malta are also inside of the United Nations. In the United Nations, they're seen as a sovereign state, so they're their own country. They have their own passport. They have their own postage stamps. And remember, earlier this year, the Pope came and addressed the United Nations. He came and addressed his boys inside the United Nations. And also, he has people in Congress as well. We're gonna get to that. The most prominent Jesuits that we have in the world today, the two prominent Jesuits that we have in the world today are Pope Francis, who is a Jesuit, and the director of the CIA, who was a Jesuit as well. And he went to Fordham University as well. Liz, that's your alumni. So he went to Fordham University as well. He's a Jesuit trained. Jesuits in the CIA. The CIA is a Jesuit organization. It's purely Catholic. They have the nicknames is the Catholic Intelligence Agency or the Catholics in Action Agency. And it's so because all of the directors have been Catholic or Jesuits. The last 5 directors have been Jesuits. The CIA runs social media and all forms of media. They have contracts with CBS, NBC, all these major news networks since the 50s, where they give them what it is that they're supposed to speak on. With social media, any social media network that rises up, they buy. They buy them through they have investment firms that run by other names. Well, I think one is QTEL and another one is the Ford Foundation. They buy out these social media businesses, and they take like Facebook. They have the majority stakehold in Facebook. So, for example, the Brooklyn Nets. When the Barclays Center wanted to get this investment firm, wanted to put that building in Brooklyn, people were protesting. So they said, we need to get somebody to get them to follow after us. What did they get? They get Jay-Z. Now they say that Jay-Z is the owner of the Brooklyn Nets. Jay-Z is not the owner of the Brooklyn Nets. Jay-Z owned this much of the Brooklyn Nets. The Russian dude owned the majority stake of the Brooklyn Nets, but you're not gonna listen to a Russian dude, right? No. So when Jay-Z said, "Yo, we're about to do this, and we're about to bring Brooklyn back to the way that it needs to be," so everybody says, "You know what? Let's go. Let's follow on." So they jump on, and then like 2 years later, Jay-Z leaves his shares he sells his shares of the Brooklyn Nets. It's the same for Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Zuckerberg created Facebook. The CIA comes in through their investment firms. They buy out the majority share, but they still give him like a little small share. His small share still gets him billions of dollars. So he could care less. He could care less. And it's not like he has a say so in whether he can. It's either you can buy it from me or I will take it from you. And you can still be the face of Facebook. And it's the same thing for Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all these forms of social media. Now, why does the CIA want that? Well, they're an intelligence collecting agency. We live in a time period where everybody puts all of their information onto Facebook. Whatever you do, what you like, your past history, your present history, your phone number, if you're going to the doctor, what you're doing today, everything you put on social media. And they don't have to search and do sneaky things to find anything about you anymore. All they do is just, I own Facebook. They're using a form of mind control over the masses by using social media and by using the television media. Now, how's that so? People spend so much time on Facebook that whatever Facebook tells them is true, the masses follow after it like sheep. So this is what happens. Back in the day, when people were beheading soldiers in Iraq or in Afghanistan, and they would load it up to the internet, the CIA or whoever would have it shut down immediately. If there was any pornography or any violence that was placed on Facebook, Facebook would take it down, and then they would send you a warning. If you did it again and you didn't adhere to that warning, they would then delete your page. Now all of a sudden, we're able to watch people get shot, and we can to watch them die on Facebook. And there are thousands on videos, and it's trending, meaning it gets 1 million views all over the country, not just around the country, but around the world. And not on top of that, then we have the people who are ranting, the people who are upset. We have the people who are saying, oh, we need to go out and we need to do this, we need to go out, we need to riot. And it's inciting the people to anger. It sets your emotion, it sets your way of thinking, and when it sets your emotion and your way of thinking, it affects your character, and that's how it is that you're going to operate, which is the reason why the CIA is allowing these videos to go out, which is why. So what now we're seeing, especially in the church, is we're seeing a bunch of Christians who are watching these things, they're getting upset, they're getting afraid, forgetting the fact that they have a God that resides over them where there's nothing for them to fear. If I'm hidden in the secret place. Say that again? Oh, that too. But we have a lot of people who are in the church who are angry, who are afraid, and they're forgetting that if they're hidden in the secret place of God, that there's no danger that's going to come to them. That who are also trying to incite people to riot, like posts after posts after posts after posts of inciting people to anger, not understanding that they're working along with the system to cause this revolution to come about, when God is expecting us to think spiritually, not emotionally. As we think spiritually, even though we're angry, we're not going to act out of anger. We're not going to respond out of anger, but there's a way that God wants us to respond, and we were going to respond as such. But that's why they're doing this, because they can control the way that the people think. And we have to understand that this is not a black against white issue. It's not a police against black people issue. This is a spiritual issue. This is a sin against righteousness issue. This is the great controversy that we're facing.